I'm going to call the meeting to order. Tuesday, January 7th. It is 6:33. Those attending tonight's meeting should be aware that the meeting is being audio and video recorded by APAC and ASRSD. Any audience members who wish to record any part of the meeting must inform the chair, who will announce the recording. This is to comply with the Mass Wiretap statute. The listings of matters are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. We'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance, please. This one. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Michelle, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. DeForge, Mrs. Granger.
Here.
Mr. Leone.
Here.
Mr. Quinn.
Here.
Mrs. Fisher.
Here.
Mrs. Simmons.
Here. All right, our high school representative, Liam Gleason's here tonight. Liam, what's going on in the high school?
A lot, actually. Well, maybe it just feels that way since it's the beginning of the decade, but things seem to be going fairly well. Back to the regular sort of week schedule for the first time in quite a while. So that whole transition seems to be going fairly smoothly. Sports teams seem to be doing well. Track has our meet tomorrow in Shrewsbury against, I believe it's, I want to say Murdoch, I'd say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's accurate. And if I'm wrong, I'll find out tomorrow. But we just have so many coming up very fast, so it's kind of hard to keep track. But all the other things seem to be going well too. Like I've heard, basketball's been doing pretty well on both ends, boys and girls, and hockey seems to be doing well too. I'm excited to see how they do this season. And everything else in the school just seems to be going well. The class of 2020 is going to be putting on a sort of variety show in a couple weeks. It's on the 24th. So that's going to be really cool to see, especially since it's kind of we did one last year too, back in the spring, but this one's sort of meant to raise money for our prom coming up in May. So hopefully a lot of people turn out to that. And this weekend, the Quick Wits Improv Troupe is putting on 2 shows, Friday and Saturday at 7 o'clock. Hopefully all of you are going to be there because it's hilarious. But anyways, so those are the only things I can think of coming up very, very soon. And I know that a lot of students are a little, they're feeling a little bit overwhelmed about midterms, though, because of the fact that they're coming up so fast. Mm-hmm. Because they're going to be around Martin Luther King Week, which is coming up in probably a little over maybe a week. So everyone has been sort of scrambling together, being like, all right, I have everything I need here, and, do you have this thing that I may not have right now? It's like, oh yeah, let me take a picture and send it. And then different teachers as well have been saying, okay, I have this thing for you here, and hopefully this will help you out. So I feel like even though it is coming up fairly quickly after the holiday break, that I think if we all just kind of pull together and realize, okay, we have everything we need and we all need to kind of work together, then I think it's not going to be as stressful as people make it up. But I just have to keep telling myself that, because otherwise I'm not going to believe myself.
This is your fourth go round. You're good.
That's true. Yeah, 4th time's the charm. Yeah, so those are all the immediate things coming up that I can think of. And then just, your average everyday sort of just going to school and doing all your work and handling it and getting grades for it. And I'm excited to kind of see what happens with all of those things that I mentioned, because they haven't happened yet, so who knows, what's going to go on with them. But everything seems to be going fairly well. Everyone seems to be back into the swing of things now after being gone for so long. And that's about all I can really think of off the top of my head right now, based on just seeing how everyone's been interacting with each other and how things seem to be going. Everyone's general sort of behavior.
Good.
So, pretty positive.
Good. Any questions for Liam?
You haven't made any reference to college applications, which I know a number of students were
Oh, yes.
on the backside of Hysteria with, so.
Yeah, that's something I actually did forget to mention, I apologize. We do have a cool little thing on the wall now. It's kind of a Dr. Seuss reference, all the places you'll go, and we have people that have written down colleges they've gotten into and their names and have put it there.
Oh, that's nice.
So that everyone can see, hey, I got into this college, even though with social media, everyone kind of finds out pretty fast anyways. And I'm actually really happy to see so many of my peers getting into different schools very, very quickly. And they've applied to so many different schools, just a plethora of them, and they've gotten into sometimes even all of them all at the same time, which is really nice. It shows that our class are actually doing pretty well. And I'm personally waiting to see for a while, because I have a different sort of plan than everybody else. I'm hoping to sort of get into the music field. And with that, you have to perform an audition in front of different staff at all these different universities or colleges or anything like that. So I'm probably going to be having to find out until the spring if I get accepted to any of these places, even though I finished all of my application stuff this previous month. So the suspense is kind of good, but I still have a long way to go before all of that stuff's finished. But it is exciting. My first one actually is going to be this weekend at Berkeley College of Music. So,
Good luck.
name drop.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
But yes, so that's going to be very, very exciting. And I'm happy to see that all of my peers are getting in very fast and into all the schools that they wanted to get into.
Good.
So many of them getting into their top schools and being so excited. Like, oh, I can just sit back, relax, and know I'm going to this college. It's really nice. Not necessarily when they're like, oh, where are you going? And I'm like, I can't tell you yet. But
It's unknown.
yeah, everything with that is also going really well. So really happy to see.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but do you
No.
think the students in your class know to let guidance know? Because obviously this is new for them. Only because I see that some of our updates has schools that, it is not listing schools that I know students have gotten into. So do you think your classmates know that when they get in, they should give a copy of their acceptance letter? Or do they know about the wall kind of thing that's going on?
I'm not entirely sure how much people notice the wall. I mean, I notice it because it's, I
fun.
remember seeing, actually, there were a couple guidance members that were putting it up themselves, where it's like they would take some of the little triangle-shaped things and put them on the wall.
Oh, okay.
Because that's how I knew that it actually happened, was I saw them setting it up. And I think they said, if you get into one, just let us know, and then we'll put a little thing here for you so you can show off to the entire school that you got into this college. So I'm 99% sure that they know about this wall thing, and that's how, actually, I think they actually have to get all of that information first before the thing on the wall comes up.
Right.
And they're in charge of the wall.
I'm just curious if the kids know, if they've
Yeah.
publicized it to your class, if you think the kids know that that's what they're supposed to be doing.
I'm
Or if
not
they're just being
entirely
lazy.
sure- Oh, yeah. I'm not entirely sure everyone else knows, but I actually am glad you brought that up, because now I'm going to have to remember them to make sure that they know. But I'm sure if that ever happens, well, I'm sure it'll happen at least one of the schools I'm applying to, but when that happens, I feel like I'm probably just going to be super hyped up, and I'm probably going to want to tell them, hey, all that stuff we worked on and we handed
Yeah.
over, well, it paid off, so I wanted to let you know that this happened, and thank you for everything you did.
Yeah.
So that's just my own guess at how I'm going to approach things, but I'm sure that other students will be in a similar mindset where they're going to be able to know that they should let all of them know and say, hey, all those things you submitted, they worked. So I don't necessarily think it's been very publicized though, because I guess maybe just everyone kind of already knew about it and everyone just assumed they did. But it would still be good to kind of publicize it a little bit just so that everyone knows. But I think basically, from what I've seen, everyone that has already gotten in has already done that step. I believe, because it's not necessarily always my business to be like, oh, hey, what college did you get into?
Right.
Does everyone know that you got into this college?
Maybe-
Do you want everyone to know that you got into college? That's up to everyone's own personal.
So I think while peers might know it through social media, there's probably
That's true,
instructors and staff in the school who, unless they go up to someone and go, tell me anything, they're not going to tell you anything.
Right.
Yeah.
That is very different, because obviously not a lot of staff are following their students on all these social media.
I would think not, right.
Yeah.
So they're not going to know
Don't have time.
as soon as everyone else and their classmates know.
No, right.
It's a reminder to bring the letter in, but you do the announcements in the
I
morning.
was just gonna say
Maybe you declare it with guidance, and the office is say, can I send a reminder to the seniors to bring in their acceptance letters to guide us so that we can post the acceptances.
That's a good idea.
And then maybe remind them every few
Yeah.
days.
That's right, yeah.
We all need
I'm gonna-
weekly reminders, so that would be great.
I might have to get, permission.
Yeah, ask the office and guidance, absolutely,
All that
ask
stuff.
permission to Claire with them.
So as soon as I ask them, I can probably do that.
And because I know everyone listens to you when you're on the intercom in the morning.
What's that?
I know everyone listens to you when you're on the intercom in the morning.
Oh, yeah, I sure hope so.
They look forward to hearing from you, so,
Oh, that's great.
yeah.
Don't get me started.
Anyone else questions for Liam?
Thank you, Liam.
And good luck on.
Yeah, good luck this weekend, Liam.
Oh, thank you, yeah.
Good luck, Liam. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You'll be great.
Very well.
Thank you, yeah. Wait, what's Friday and Saturday?
Thanks, Liam. Okay, Dr. Malone.
Sure, thank you. This evening, we have a special guest. Mr. Deppie notified me earlier that we had a student in grade 5 at the Page Hilltop win a contest, and it's called the Kids Want Contest. Mr. Deppie is going to come up with the student. I would like to recognize and congratulate Cole Hillman, 5th grader at the Page Hilltop. He wrote an essay, and it was a winning essay. And I'd like to recognize his family being here, Mr. Hillman, his dad, and his brother Jack, his sister Sarah, his mom, Mrs. Hillman, and his good friend, Cole's good friend Jackson, who goes to Laura White. I saw Jackson stay at Laura White, and Jackson's mom. And we have Mrs. Savoy, the school counselor at Page Hilltop here, and Mrs. Berry, Jean Berry from Page Hilltop, as well as her daughter, who's in 4th grade. I guess they got their homework done real quickly since Mrs. Berry's a 4th grade teacher. And we have Mrs. France, 1st grade teacher, and we have Mrs. Levesque, who is the assistant principal at the Page Hilltop, and then some students, I think Cole's fan club maybe, is here as well. So I'd like to ask Mr. Deppie and Cole come up to the podium. Cole is going to be reading his essay to you.
Oh, great.
Mr. Deppie will further explain the actual contest.
So, thank you and welcome. Happy New Year to everybody. Glad to be here, special night here. So, as Dr. Malone was saying, this is for special recognition. At the start of each year, we welcome all of our 4th and 5th graders to submit applications to be part of our PLT or Panther Leadership Team. That group then we work on building strong leadership skills, having them help develop a positive school culture, and then being involved in community projects in and out of the school. We have 29 students this year involved in that group, and then we meet with them every month, myself, Mrs. Levesque, and Mrs. Savoy, and it's great. And this fall, Mrs. Savoy brought forth this contest. This is put out by Scholastic. It's a nationwide contest. As Dr. Malone said, it's called It's Time to Flaunt, and the students had to write an essay or create an artwork. They had either choice. That kind of talked about themselves, what made them unique, what you see in them, what's inside of them, what made them unique, what made them special. It's a great opportunity to them to, kind of boost their self-esteem and show I'm a cool person. But it's also great to help all the students, it's a nice SEL project. It helps them to recognize everybody's different and there's special things about everybody. So as Dr. Malone said, we had most all the kids participate, and we recognized and awarded them internally at our school. But I was thrilled a few weeks ago when Mrs. Savoy came and said, we got a call from Scholastic. We have a national first place winner.
Wow.
It's great to have him and all his friends and family here, and Jack and Sarah, who are both Page Hilltop alumni. Good to see you there. So we're going to ask Cole to share his essay.
Yes, absolutely. Please, Cole.
My amazing brother. Hi, my name is Cole. I am 10 years old and I like to play soccer, basketball, golf, and baseball. I also like video games and playing with my friends. My family has a special place in my heart, especially my brother named Jack. He is amazing. My brother Jack has Down syndrome, type 1 diabetes, and celiac disease. He's special to me because without him, I wouldn't be me, and we wouldn't have the bond that we have now. Jack is kind to all. He will never judge you. Jack is quiet in a way, but he loves to sing and dance and will put on a show for people. He's always making us laugh. Jack has to work very hard to do things throughout the day that come easy to others. I like helping him do these things. He's always appreciative and gives us hugs all the time. Having Jack in my life makes me feel lucky. Having a brother with Down syndrome impacts my life in a very positive way each day. Jack has taught me to be a more kind and patient person. He's taught me this because things are not easy for everybody, and when he is struggling to do something, I need to be patient so he can figure it out on his own. This is hard to do sometimes when I'm rushing and I want to do it for him so it can be done quickly. But it's more important for him to try first. Having a brother with Down syndrome has impacted me on how I treat other people. I'm always kind to others. I'm always looking around during recess, and if I see someone sitting alone who looks sad, I go over and talk to them. I always include kids in games we're playing. I stand up for kids who get picked on. One thing that I find really cool is that one of my very good friends has Down syndrome. His name is Jackson, and he is in my grade. Jackson does not always behave well and doesn't have many play dates with other kids. I understand why he behaves a certain way, and I don't get frustrated with him. He's been over to my house a couple times, and it makes me feel good when I see how excited he gets when I invite him over. Another thing that having Jack in my life has impacted me is that I've learned a lot of medical things. He has type 1 diabetes, and I often help him with testing his blood sugar and giving him insulin through his pump when my parents are not around to do it. Jack also has celiac disease, so I've learned what kind of foods he can eat. Learning about these things has made me think that I would like to work in a hospital when I get older. I like everybody to see how special it is to have a brother with Down syndrome. I don't mind flaunting this because I think Jack is super cool. I always introduce him to all my friends. I never exclude him in what I'm doing and always include him whenever I have friends over. Jack plays for a unified basketball team, and I go to his games and cheer for him. I want him to feel happy and know that I'm proud of him. It is hard for him to dribble, so he needs to work super hard at it. People will ask me sometimes why he does things, like rock side to side. I don't mind explaining to people why he does that or why he might act differently. Many people ask about his insulin pump and want to know how it works. I like answering these questions because I know people are just curious. I know that my brother is different, but that makes him Jack. He will always be my best friend, and he is definitely amazing.
Cole, that was amazing.
Super.
Really, really well done. I don't even know what to ask.
Full Scout, congratulations.
Yeah.
And you've made your family, first Jack, very proud and very happy. And your family very proud of you. I'm sure when Mr. Duffy called your mom and dad to notify them that you were a national winner, first place winner, that is pretty significant. And so we congratulate you. You've made the school district very proud and the school committee very proud of you and very happy for you. And Jack is very lucky to have such a kind and loving, caring brother. So that's a true testament to your parents and how they're raising their children and teaching you to work and love your brother and help with his growth and development. And he's a pretty remarkable young guy, aren't you, Jack? Pretty remarkable. Yeah. Yeah, I heard Jack, when I heard that your brother talk about unified basketball, you gave the thumbs up. He really likes doing the unified basketball. So, and Sister Sarah over there, she's very helpful and very kind. And she often gives Jack rides to and from school. I watch her pick him up and drop him off, and she loves doing that, don't you? Yeah, so she's very happy. So congratulations to Cole and your whole family, and beautiful essay.
Thank you.
Cool. I'd just like to add that the sentiment in the piece was very well done. You must be quite a reader because your vocabulary was superior, the use of that. So that's a real credit, and that is a special skill that will do you very well in the future.
Thank you.
I also just wanted to add, I know your family's very proud of you and your family's lucky to have you, but it sounds like you're a real valuable asset to the Page Hilltop community as well. And it sounds like you're a real friend to everyone. And I just want to congratulate you on that and say how lucky we feel that you're here and a part of our school district. So congratulations, that's really excellent.
And keep writing.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll have to live up to now.
Keep writing.
Can we share that on our Facebook page?
Yeah,
Would
yeah,
you
it's
be
all
okay with us
public,
posting?
absolutely.
It's going on the website. The day after Scholastic has a website, his picture and essay will go on the website.
Oh, that's awesome.
We'll share it on-
Can we share it on our website?
And he got a really cool photo printer sent to him yesterday as well. It prints out little photos and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's cool.
Great.
Awesome.
Well deserved.
Yep, good job.
Yeah, thank you.
We also want to thank hard act to follow.
Yeah. So, Dr. Malone,
Thank you everyone for coming as well, so we really appreciate it.
thank you. All right, so I'm going to move on to public participation. It feels like we've been here for for a long time. Is there anyone that has anything?
I feel bad.
No, please.
No, we understand.
No, we understand, we're very used to this.
You can catch up on TV at any time, it's televised, so.
We wish we were with you.
Good night.
Thank you. Congratulations. Okay, well, that limits the public participation, but did you have anything that you wanted to speak about anything on the agenda? Sorry to direct you right at you, but you are the public tonight. All right, then moving on to our consent agenda. That includes the approval of the December 18th, 2019 regular session minutes for release and a warrant memo. Sorry, I don't have it up, but the warrant memo is dated, it's coming here, January 2nd, 2020. It's for accounts payable warrant 1091 in the amount of $778,253.44. Accounts payable warrant 1103 dated December 27th, 2019 in the amount of $3,518. Payable warrant 13 dated December 20th, 2019 for $665,921.61. Payroll warrant 13.1 dated December 20th, 2019 for $20,720.20. Payroll warrant 13.2 dated December 20th, 2019 for $750. And payroll warrant 14 dated January 3rd, 2020 for $615,307.36. Anyone want to make a motion to approve the consent
I'd make a
agenda?
motion to approve the consent, what's it called?
Consent agenda?
Yes, consent agenda as read, thank you.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Looks like we don't have any new business.
No.
Okay, and then we'll move on to your superintendent's report, Dr. Malone.
Thank you. Teaching and Learning Digital Literacy Computer Science District Implementation Planning Workshop. Ms. Akey, Mrs. Koch, Mrs. Deppy, Mr. Christie, Mr. Cleary, Mrs. Tebow, and myself will attend the workshop on January 29 and 30. It's 2 full days. This workshop will guide district teams through a series of collaborative visioning, self-assessment, and goal-setting exercises to create or expand upon a digital literacy and computer science education implementation plan for their students. And as I had stated earlier, the vision is for us to implement computer science K-12 next school year. Upcoming 2020 MCAS testing, January 6th through February 7th. Accessing comprehension and communication in English state to state, better known as ACCESS. We always use the acronym, but it's the assessment for English learners. That's going on as we speak this week. It is a computer-based administration for grades 1 through 12 and a paper version for students with disabilities and newcomers, meaning students who have been with less than 1 year in the beginner program. And then the biology sessions 1 and 2 will take place on February 5th and 6th, and that is paper-based this year. Professional development submitted by Assistant Superintendent Charlie Cleary. Prior to the winter break, we provided professional development to our new elementary staff members on the writing concept of self-regulated strategy development, also known as ASRSD. With new highs at the elementary level and the emphasis we have placed on writing in the district for the school year, we wanted to ensure that each of our staff members had a consistent level of understanding of this writing program. The updated information from the workshop has also been provided to staff who had previously participated in this professional development. Staff feedback from the two-day workshop was very positive, and we have seen an increase in the frequency of writing in all elementary classrooms. Our next professional development day, which is an early release for K-8 educators and K-12 para-educators. As you know, the high school students, teachers will be, it's a half day for the final midterm exams. So the high school staff do not participate in PD. The workshops scheduled for this day are largely content-based, with educators participating in workshops focused on literacy, writing, increasing mathematical discourse, implementation of civics in the middle grades, community circles of wellness, Google certification, special education law, the new arts frameworks, implementing UDL, as you know, Universal Design for Learning, and rural language classrooms, enriching curriculum through song. Paraprofessionals will participate in the workshop to learn new strategies for supporting all students, and the library paraprofessionals will learn more or learn about the concept of a makerspace in library settings. So the next is about the mid-year exams. Mid-year exams will take place during the week of January 21, with high school students participating in 2 end-of-semester assessments each day, January 21st and 24th. Students will be released on a half-day schedule on January 23rd and 24th. And under the weekly district update, so the weekly attendance rates for all students, as I'm sure you all know, are published in the weekly update. As noticed in yesterday's update, we are experiencing a decrease in attendance. There is a significant drop on half-days and partial weeks, such as this past January 2nd and 3rd. And I can't stress enough to the parents when they watch this that students, when school is in session, we need to attend school. And that's, of course, you're another mitigating, but school is in session, we have to attend. We cannot stress enough the importance of being in school on time every day. Every day matters. When students miss school for even one day, they get behind in their work and tend to feel disconnected. It's very hard. So we are continually working internally to create positive conditions for learning in school for all. For those parents and guardians who may have concerns with their child's connectedness to school that may impact attendance, please reach out to the child's principal so we can work together on identifying the root cause of low attendance and put into place safety nets and supports. History of school choice, Madam Chair, you had asked last meeting to identify some of the decrease in school choice rates from 18 to 19. So it was on the agenda, but I actually put it in my report here. So we identified in Berlin, for example, FY18, we had one student. That student actually transferred back to the middle school. Fitchburg, we had a decrease. So the point numbers are for partial years of the student attendance there. That's why you see a 0.8. It's not a 0.8 student, obviously. So 6 seniors did graduate, but we did have 3 students transfer in, so that makes the difference. Harvard, we increased from 21 to 24. The 2 students applied for school choice in 2nd grade, and then 1 new 9th grader. Hudson, that's a 9th grader. Littleton, we had 3 graduates and 2 moves. And when we say graduate, we're not able to identify if they actually graduated or, so we don't want to write that once they moved, but we know that they were a graduate, a senior, okay? Should actually change it. So these are seniors. So in Littleton, it was 3 graduates, 3 seniors, and 2 moves. Westford, we had 1 graduate. After Bucksborough, 1 graduate. Dunstable, 1 graduate. The Ralph C. Mars School, that's an 11th grader who chose as a Pathways of Early College Innovation School. And then the virtual school, 3 left in 9th grade, 2nd grade, and 1st grade. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then the last piece of this is the verified college acceptances. Speaking of that, and you can see in red, each week we'll highlight in red. So our new acceptances are Assumption College, Bard College, Dean, Plymouth State University, Rutgers University, Nichols College, University of Southern Maine, and then Worcester Polytechnic Institute. And that completes my report.
I know there's one H in there, so.
Yeah, so I know that Mrs. Wallace, the administrative assistant in Ghana, she rates the verification from the college acceptance letter. So I know that students get accepted and you all hear about it and you say, why aren't they listed
Oh,
being
yeah.
publicized? And they haven't brought their letters in, so.
That's why I brought it up to Liam,
Yeah.
because I'm sure there's a lot
Yeah, I
of,
know, so
Going
anyway,
on.
we'll get on that and make sure we.
they're
The
quick
parents
to,
need to tell their students, bring this to the guidance department, your letter of acceptance.
they're quick to take a picture of it and put it on Snapchat so the world knows about it.
Yeah.
They can't bring it into
Can't get in and
guidance.
let the school know.
Yeah, exactly.
Joyce?
Mr. Clary, on that, could you just maybe expound a little bit on what self-regulated strategy development means, since that's kind of jargon of the world?
That's the name of the program.
I know it's the name of the program,
Yep.
but
Ultimately, it's a writing approach that provides kids with the tools so that they can make independently the decisions that they need to make in order to actually be, I guess, quality writers. So it provides them with a lot of scaffolding and supports to help them appreciate the writing process, so that by the end, kids are creating, developing, responding to prompts, writing the text independently. That's the intent.
and it's working.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an evidence-based approach. It's been in the district for the past, I think since 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was here before I came in. We also have, in our new literacy program, we have writers workshop, so,
Yeah, I knew that.
yeah, so we're keeping writers, well, writers
Just get into
workshop.
these
has to be
jargon
taught.
things and you think
So
everyone has to
SRD
be-
Writings Workshop, we're hoping to produce really strong writers.
And then on the January 24th, there's a lot of subjects there. So is that being broken down by grade level, by
Yeah.
Yes.
across all the schools, or?
That's all they're for different grade levels and or different subjects.
We're just providing you the topics.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious, so it breaks out to about, everybody gets something, but
Oh,
Yeah.
do they choose, or they get chosen, or tagged they're it, or?
They're assigned
Assigned.
based on kind of need and or interest. So choices, I think for that one, it's more content specific, and grade specific. So teachers are assigned based on the need assessment that we do at the end of the year and also during the year.
So do they say, I really don't want to do this, I'd rather do this? And you go, oh,
That typically doesn't happen.
because you've worked it out before.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's nice to see the varied offerings that day, and even for the paraprofessionals, and that's it's really great.
Yeah, the paraprofessionals, because they attend, so we have the 2 days of professional development we front-loaded, and so we like the paraprofessionals to join us for the grand opening, if you will, and the keynote. So we trade that with them, if you will. They do not attend 2 half-days. So because they want to be present for the first 2 days, the keynote and all that. So it works out well
Yeah.
for them.
Good. Anyone else have any questions?
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to ongoing business. Item A, guidance on naming on school committee, oh my God, guidance on school committee subcommittees. Dr. Malone, I'm like,
I think that was a press, so I just provided the policy that the school committee has on subcommittees. Maybe last week we did some clarification, I think,
Yeah.
on the committees and how they run and all that, so I wanted to, at the request of the committee, provide to you what we have for policy. So we have our policy, and then we also just aggregated the mass policy for you as well. Just leave it to you to.
If I can just take this moment, so we haven't done anything yet as far as forming up. There was going to be a lot of brainstorming to get parameters on this for a while. And we'll ask Michelle to post a meeting. Kind of got holidays,
Yeah.
make it difficult. And everybody has little kids and other things going on. So nothing has progressed at this point. So I don't have a report tonight on the subcommittee. But even the scope and a lot of things need to be brainstormed, and bringing things in from other school districts to see how they're approaching the same thing. So we'll have more for you, but at this point, it's still in the cloud.
Sure. And, you know, you would always begin as an advisory committee, have guidance on that too. and then
Well, the
also-
advisory
so-
committee is a little different. The
Yeah.
advisory committee, because I thought this was really helpful tonight, by the way. The advisory committee is like your building subcommittee and stuff. They have one chore.
Yeah.
They're not really a subcommittee. It's a little different thing, even though they do have to post meetings and everything.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a really good, different distinction.
Sure.
We might want to since this is one that hadn't been reviewed for quite some time, we might want to just ask this as like a first read thing, because I haven't seen this in like forever, for a long time, so maybe we'll take a look at this, everybody gets a chance to review it, give their thoughts and inputs for the next meeting, it might be worthwhile thing to take a look at.
Sure, all right, so
So referring this to the policy subcommittee.
Jim?
This is our first read, we'll bring it under
January
11,
22nd.
there you go.
All right, so,
BDE and EEF.
All right, now the naming.
okay, thank you. The last, we had talked about naming policy, we had a proposal submitted to me, which I then forwarded to the school committee. If you recall, last year from Mr. Frost. His proposal was to name the media center after a longtime principal, Mr. Don Parker. And so when we brought it forth to this committee, we started to look at what the current policy was, and it didn't really address naming, an area or a building or whatnot. So the school committee tasked me to go back and look at other policies of other districts and then bring back a proposed policy too, which I have done tonight. For some reason I didn't do it sooner than this, and I apologize because I know that Mr. Frost was patiently waiting for us to respond to his request. So I notified him that for some reason, it just vacated. So this is the first read, naming the facilities, and the first part of the policy is the current school district policy that we have, and then we added some pieces of the mask policy. And then what we did down the bottom is, I said, well, we need a procedure. So what are the steps? What would be the procedure to do this? So there's one in the new buildings, the first section. Then the second section is on existing facilities. And there's a step-by-step procedure to naming an area or a section or a field after someone. So this would also be a first read for the committee. We also put in the drive the other policies that we gathered from other school districts. If you feel that this proposed policy that I've developed for you is weak or needs, is missing some steps, you have the other policies to reference for your information.
Hadn't we gone through the procedure about, I don't know, a couple of months ago? Didn't we work on this procedure at some point and then we didn't get back to it?
I think that we left it, we had notes, Michelle had copious notes from us that directed me, and we came to the point where we had all of these policies and we looked at them. We have like North Middlesex, we had North Andover, we had Acton Boxborough, I think Westwood is in there, Chelmsford is in there. So the school committee said, why don't you go back and why don't you write something up using pieces of these and our own policy and bring something back to us. So that's, I believe, where it was, and that's where we are tonight. That's what I've done, and so this would be your first read, and obviously it's the rule of the school committee to decide how, if they do it.
Anyone else, any other questions?
I thought it was interesting, and policies are so much fun. I thought it was interesting on the Massachusetts Association of School Committees policy, with the line that says the school committee may acknowledge generous donors by designating appropriate spaces within the school. And I was wondering, consistent with the level of financial commitment. So if I pledge $100 in 1923, it might mean more than 10,000 this year. But, so I wondered if there shouldn't be something, some other way other than there's only so many rooms, there's only so many areas, there's only so many buildings. So if there was something where you would have in your school a recognition board, just to call it something right now, a recognition board that said, these donors have helped our school, and someone who gives us above a certain amount, their name would go on there with the year, maybe, not the amount, but just the year. Because when you have various things and you open up, and here's the supporters at the $50,000 mark, and here's the supporters at the $10,000 mark, and here's the, but you could set that up so that you're not responsible for maybe changing a name, or, you know, when you, room number 42 isn't too impressive, in my opinion. But, so I just, reading that last line of the mask thing, I'm like, what? Give us money, honey, we'll talk to you. But it doesn't matter what they give you, and then the next line kind of changes.
Yeah,
that
so
a little bit.
I contemplated, you know, deleting it, but, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know that.
You know, we haven't had anybody that has ever said, I'd like to make a financial contribution in exchange to name, you know, that bench after somebody, so we haven't never experienced that, but I think when you develop a policy, you want to be able to think of all the different scenarios that may be presented to you, or situations or proposals, so then you know, we're developing a policy, so you want to be able to rely on it tonight and in the future, should any of these kind of situations be presented to the school committee. You know, even at the very end, when I thought it was important to include, you know, the determination piece, because it might be a situation where, you know, something may, with the district being brought into disrepute. So that could be something that might happen, and so if you have a policy that speaks to that, then you're, as a committee, you're not in a situation where, what do we do now? What, you know, how do we terminate this? It's in the policy. So.
That's like in the South when they dedicated monuments to people that are now offensive to most of the people that live there and not be able to live.
Yeah.
So we are going to discuss this at our next meeting, so we're going to have to bring up little things now.
No.
Yeah, so it's, you know, the first read is, you read it, and then, and I will say that, you know, the next meeting, we already have a full agenda, because we have the budget presentation, we have some other things, so if we don't put it on the next meeting, you know, we can do it for the next one. Okay? Because, you know, there's some other things that are already on the agenda for next time that are really, so.
And this is big and will go on for a while.
Yeah, so.
I'm not going to be able to be here on the 11th, I'm out of town, so.
Okay. So you'd like us to bring it up in your idea? Okay.
So am I supposed to read this? Policy?
Read it.
Well, we have got it in our package,
Yeah.
so we'll all review it independently and make annotations for our next review.
Okay. All right, so we already did the school choice out as part of your report. Policy subcommittee items, I just made a notation that we're going to do BDE and media. No chairman's notes tonight. Is there any other topics for discussion not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance of this meeting? Anyone? All right. Ms. Simmons, communications, please.
Okay, so on Wednesday, well, let's start with the variety, no, not the variety show, the Quick Wits is this Friday and Saturday here at the high school at 7 o'clock. It's a performance, I've never been to it, so can anybody describe it for me?
I have been to all of them.
Oh, so how can you describe the Quick Wits performance?
They have a improv teacher that comes in. Certain people have signed up to participate in this. The funniest by far is Faith Salter, but she's on top of this one. And a number of students are also involved. They create different situations and then try to play off each other. So the entire thing is improvisation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's all improv that they do.
That's great. So this weekend, come to that show at 7 o'clock, Friday and Saturday. January 15th, Wednesday, safety presentation for parents and guardians, 6 p.m. LAW Elementary School Library. Monday, January 20th, there's no school for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Wednesday, January 22nd, there is a school committee meeting at the middle school at 6:30. Thursday, January 23rd is a half a day of school for grades 9 through 12 for exams, which we talked about. Thursday, January 23rd is the Harlem Wizards basketball game at 6:30 here at the high school in the gym. Friday, January 24th is a half a day of school for grades 9 through 12 for exams. Also is the half a day of school for grades preschool to 8 for professional development. Middle school is dismissed at 11:20 and the elementary school is at 12:15. Monday, January 27th, Page Hilltop Great Kindness Challenge Assembly at 9:30 at the high school auditorium. Wednesday, January 29th, progress reports are issued for grades preschool through 5. And looking ahead, on Sunday, May 17th, is the Janice Bresnahan Run for Education. And it starts here, big event here at the high school on the campus, and then the run. And that's it. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. It's funny, someone just asked me when the Bresnahan race was. I never know. So now I know for sure. All right, so that's it. Anything else before we call the meeting?
Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
Rose
Did you set a record?
Yeah, I know, right? All right, so that's 7:20.
Should have done half the budget.
We're adjourned.
Mr.
Oh, there's
Financial
a Johnson
Director.
boys basketball game, so we're gonna get to go to
Yeah,
that.
now we're gonna have to pay to get in. It's not even halftime, probably.
Yeah.
I'm just
Thank
kidding.
you very
Pick up your
much.
money, Michelle. I'm joking. I make a motion 20.
Oh. Moved and seconded, all those in favor. I already adjourned.
Aye. It doesn't work.
I know. Oh, why not?
So funny.
All right, so it's, now it's still 7:20.
That's still